So here we are once again. This is an eternity of basketball, and today we have the honor of having one of the early pure point guards in the PBA with us. Episode 21, ang aming guest sa araw na ito, together with Sid Ventura, of course, and Noel. Ako po si Charlie Cuna. None other than Mike Bilbao. And this is you all know, you've heard of him because in the past few episodes, our guests have been talking about him and they've been saying how difficult it was to guard him. And so now he's with us. Mike, welcome to an eternity of basketball.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me, Charlie. Nice to be here. Nice to see you and nice to be with your friends. Yes. I hope I can give you for tonight. Yes.
Oh yeah. I'm sure we're gonna have fun, no? Because everybody's been talking about you and in your career in the PBA.
I was surprised. Yes. I was so surprised when Techi told me that they were talking. I said, "Oh my God, that's so nice." That's a big compliment, Charlie. Big compliment. Big booster for me.
You're admired and by a lot of and loved by a lot of the guests that we've had already. They've said that you're their favorite teammate. And aside from the guys who said that you're hard to play against, but let's get right down to it already. Tito, when you were young, how did you get started in playing basketball?
Okay, you want to hear it from? Okay, I was really a soccer player.
Yeah.
My coach in soccer was Mr. Kadlum. I don't know if you know Mr. Did you go to Salle?
No, Tito.
Oh, Charlie, no. But anyway, 5 minutes before our practice in soccer, we started to play basketball. He saw me. He said, "Mike, you come tomorrow." He was also the basketball coach. So I was happy. I wanted to practice, and he got me to play. But I was playing among Filipinos who were good. The Filipinos are basically basketball players. They're so good in basketball because in soccer it's mostly the Spanish, the mestizos, and La Salle was always champion. There was no challenge. So while in basketball, we were always second to the last place. So it's like for me, I took it as a challenge. I said because being number one all the time, there was no more challenge. So I said I'll try to play. And I love basketball because for me, basketball was my passion in sports. And that's why I continued. And I tried. My father told me, "You're crazy. Basketball is for tall people. You're such a short guy. And you'll never make it." So I took it as a challenge again. I said, "I'm going to show my father that I can do it." And I worked hard for it. And I'm happy and proud. And very proud that I got into it. That's how I started playing basketball. Now, that's in school, no?
Mm-hmm,
and
yes.
And then comes, juniors in La Salle Green Hills. Okay, we were second place, third. And I continued. I got my breaks when I was in the seniors. Coach Tito Eduque, who gave me the breaks, decided for me to play as a guard, not as a forward. I was a forward now.
Okay.
And he said, "I'll put you behind, Mike." So I said, "Okay, I'll try." I tried. I learned. I made a lot of mistakes, but I progressed from there. And then came the Mika. There was no PBA yet, the Mika. We were champions in the NCAA La Salle after so many years, finally won. So they got us to play for Mariwas. I was so excited. And I was benched. He would only use me 5 minutes of the game. Every game. Bilbao. Okay. And then after 5 minutes, I would look at the clock. I knew it was time for me to go. So I had to go back to the bench. Then in the championship game, he decided to use me in the last 5 minutes. It was very close. We were playing against Crispa again. And these were with the imports. We had Robinson and Oliver. And I played well. And since that time, he started using me. Not anymore 5 minutes, maybe 6 minutes or 7 minutes of the whole game, but more time. And he gave me the breaks all the time. Tito
you earned your extra 1 or 2 minutes, huh?
Yeah, extra 1, 2 minutes. That's big time, Charlie, no?
No, but Tito, can we take it back a bit? Let's go back to the La Salle days. So you went from La Salle Green Hills High School. You continued being a Lasalista into your college years.
The seniors, yes.
And you were very young, no? When you entered college, because you started in the Mika, you were, I think, just 19, right? So how old
18.
were you at that time?
In the Mika for Mariwasa, I was still in college, fourth year college.
Okay.
And I had a hard time because I had to run from Salle to Rizal Memorial to play or to be benched for one game back to school. But I enjoyed it. I said, yeah, maybe my time will come. And it did. And it paid off. I was happy. And then it was there where I met my wife, Techi, when we were playing against Crispa also. I played a good game. And Techi said, maybe Techi thought I was a star, but I just played a good game. And so from there, then we got to know each other better. And we got married and we bought a son in Fabrizio, your nice friend, Fabrizio. He's doing well, Charlie. He's doing well. He has a daughter now, and he says hello to you. He says, please say hello to Charlie.
I will. I'll message him. But talking about the Lasal days, so I'm sure Sid and Noel also want to find out about this. You won championship with Lasal in the NCAA. I think Limeng Beng was your teammate.
Yeah.
Who was my teammate?
Limeng Beng.
Yeah,
this was 1971.
Yeah, can you tell us about that? Yeah, tell us about your LaSalle experience. So how was it playing in the seniors?
LaSalle, LaSalle, without Limeng Beng, we would not have won the championship. We needed somebody like Beng who could, whom you can depend on in the last minutes of the game, and throughout the game he was always there, and he had a big heart. And I only remember losing once. In that year, we lost Mapua once, and Beng was so mad. We were taking our showers, and then Beng was so quiet. So I talked to Beng. I asked, Beng, what's wrong? He said, you guys, you could have passed the ball to me more times in the end, no? And I wasn't getting the ball. That's why we lost this game, because you guys were. When I heard that, I said, no problem, Beng. The next game and the games after that, I will always look for the guy who plays the ball. And we love the guy so much. Very humble, quiet, big star, but he never acted like a big star. And then he won for LaSalle again in his last year. And it's sad that he had to go. And I wasn't there to say goodbye to him, but I'll always remember him to be somebody great. He's one of the great players that I've been with. Yeah.
Yes, sir. For the benefit of the younger viewers, could you just describe how good Limeng Beng was? And what position did he play? A lot of the young viewers now don't have any idea on Limeng Beng's greatness. Yes.
Beng, a lot of people try to stop Beng, but I would say Beng studied you, your stance, where was your left foot, where was your right foot? Because basically, when your left foot is out, that's where I'll drive in, on your left, and you won't be able to follow me. And if your right foot is out, I'll drive on your right. That's the basic. That's the fundamental in driving in. Now he had a good jump shot, a very good jump shot, and like Francis, it's the same like Francis. A nice also like that. He had a good driving. He had a good leap. But then when I was guiding him to prevent him from taking his layup shots easily, he developed a shot from outside, and sometimes it was way beyond the 3-point area, and he would make it. I said, "Oh my God, how can I stop this guy?" And I was much smaller than Francis. I'm only 5'8". Francis is around 5'10 and a half, 5'11". So when he takes his jump shot, and it was a jump shot, not a set shot, I would never be able to reach the ball, and I would just look behind me, and sure enough, boom, it would be a shot. And he took it like it was just one of those today. That's why I was always wondering why he retired at that age. And he said it was his knees, which I'm having problems now. My knees are bad. I have arthritis now, and I have to take it slowly. I'm not getting any younger, and I have to watch out for my knees. Yes.
So, Mike, I have a question. When you were starting out in basketball, you said you were a forward and then you became a guard.
Oh, yeah.
Did you have access to early television? Did you pattern your game after anyone? Who were your early idols when you were starting out in basketball?
Oh yes, the first game I saw was in Rizal Memorial. My father brought me to the game. It was Ico against Puyat Steel, I think. This was in the 60s, no? Anyway, when the Ico team came in, Kalolo Isaga was there. You know, I felt like the crowd. You know, when you get that feeling, you go inside the stadium. It was such a nice feeling, and I told myself, boy, I wish I could play with Ico one day. That was my dream. I wanted to play with Ico so much because they had so much appeal to the crowd. Of course, because of Leisaga. Leisaga was the great king, you know, Kaloy, and they just loved Ico so much. So, but when I graduated from LaSalle after playing 4 years for LaSalle, I told my father, because my father was in Rizal then, I told him, Pa, can I play for Ico? He said, no, don't play for Ico because I'm here. You have to go somewhere else. Because if you play for Ico, he said, they'll say, you got to Ico because of me. He said, you have to earn your merits. You have to play for another team. That's why I ended up with Maribosa. And I was glad I went to Maribosa because I learned a lot from the old players. You know, Maribosa was a combination of the old players, Joaquin Rojas, Narciso Bernardo, and then the young players, which was us, Soliano, Figuracion, myself. We were not an all-star team, but we were a fighting team. And I learned a lot from the name Joaquin Rojas. I don't know if you've seen Joaquin Rojas play. Joaquin was, for me, one of the best players, short players. He was around 5'9", but he had long arms. And he had so much timing. He knew he would listen to the bounce of the ball, and then he would try to steal from between the bounces. You see him stealing the ball. He was such a smart player. I learned most of my experience from him. Yeah, the nice things in basketball.
Actually, Sir Mike, there was an article that came out when you were still playing that you were trying to teach young kids how to read where the player would go, and your tip to them was always look at the tummy. I don't know where you learned this, but that is these were your words. Always look at the tummy, never look at the ball. Please explain. Yeah.
Because the tummy. If you look at the timing of the player you're guarding, it will never go anywhere but to where he's going. If you focus on his timing, of course your eyes have to look also where the ball is without focusing on the ball. No, just look at the timing and follow the timing, left, right, wherever it goes. That's why I would turn. I wouldn't show. That's why when I was dribbling, I never showed my timing. I would show my back. So, I don't know. I'm just kidding. But it was one way. But sometimes it does work. Sometimes it does not. Because like bang, okay, you look at his timing. You're looking at his timing. Then take a jump shot. Before you know it, it's already up in the air. But that's one way of preventing them from. For me, it was more the percentage shots. The layup shot is a higher percentage shot than a jump shot. So, and I was short. So I had no choice but to prevent them from getting in. Yeah.
It's interesting because Yoyong Martirez also earlier this week, he had the same belief. He said when he's defending, tumitingin lang siya sa pusod ng defender niya. Also the tummy area.
Maybe
So
that's what maybe that's what I learned from the Visayans when I played for Mariwasa. You know, I don't really remember, but it was for me it was a habit because the tummy will not go anywhere. Just follow the tummy and you'll be okay. They won't be able to drive in, but some players were just good in following. Like the, most of the players that I played with, because I was not as strong as they were. Most of the players that I encountered are very strong, leapers and all of that. And that I didn't have. I couldn't work at it also because I was also working for the company I was playing in Elizalde. In Elizalde, yeah, you can play for ICO, but you have to work with them. So there was no time to really practice on your own and do your thing. It was work and then practice. Practice, work, like that. It was hard, kind of hard. But when you're young, you can do those things. But not as much as I could have if I was just focused on basketball.
Tito, when you were with La Salle, your coach was Tito Eduque. Is that correct?
For the seniors, yes.
Yes, when you won the championship.
Yes, yes.
And then he was also your coach when you went to Mariwasa. Tito Eduque was still your coach, right?
Yes, because Mr. Coseteng, the owner of Mariwasa then, took him. So because of that, Mr. Coseteng asked 5 of us, Julian Lim, Do Escobar, Dindo Guevara, and one more, and myself, to play. And that's why we ended up in Mariwasa. It's so sad because Julian was a good player. It's just that he broke his knee on the first game. We were playing against Meralco, and he got hit from behind, and he never recovered, Julian. And he was one of my best friends, Julian. And he was such a nice man, very humble, like Beng. Beng also, very humble. I like humble people, but fighters. There were fighters, but yeah, very humble.
What kind of a coach was Tito Eduque? Because a lot of people hear about him now, the man in white. He did coach in the PBA eventually for a while. But what sort of system did he run? What kind of demeanor did he have when he was on the sidelines?
If your father would know this, because he also played for ICO, no?
Right.
And ICO was like a family. Yes, you were competitors even amongst yourselves, but more they treated us like families. Like dinners after every game, win or lose, we would have dinners, and then we fought like a team, like a family. And he brought that to La Salle. All to La Salle, and then when Tito was playing for La Salle, they were also treated like that. So I guess it carried all the way from ICO, from La Salle to ICO, then to us, and even Mariwasa. Tito treated us like his own kids. That's why I like Tito, because he's like a father. He's like a father, and it's just sad that he had to go also. Good people like go early, you know. So yeah, like me, I'm still here, so I still have to pay for my sins. I'm as a father. Because yeah, but
yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna ask lang, you were with Tito Eduque from college until the early days of Mika. What were the biggest lessons you actually picked up from him? Because we consider him a brilliant basketball mind, but you actually worked with him. So what were the biggest learnings or the biggest lessons that you got from him?
This is one thing. Tito will teach you the fundamentals of basketball. How to pass, when to take the shot, when to give a bounce pass, how to screen, all fundamentals. But he'll never tell you, you have to take it this way or that way. No, he leaves that up to you. You have to use your own head. So, sure, you want to take a gamble, take a 30-foot shot. Okay, you can take it. If it misses, then he'll take you out and then tell you, why did you take the 30-foot shot? But, you know, he gave you, it was all up to you. Of course, the team, no? He's a team coach. He doesn't coach for himself. It's all for the team. And the players feel that. And it's nice to play for somebody who's like that. And likes to win for the team. Everybody happy when the team wins. It's not, I was the coach, that's why you guys won, or he was the star player. He doesn't treat people like that. Because there in some teams, it's I'm the star, so I have to score my 20 points or 25. If I don't score that and we win, I will not be happy. Now, if I score 25 and we lose, who cares? I made by 25 points. There are players like that.
Yeah.
But Tito made sure we wouldn't think that way, and no, not that kind of attitude. We were all together. That's what made him a great coach, a leader, more of a leader than a technical. Because there are people who are technically sound, no, and he's more a leader. That's why we like him. Inspiration also.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier that yung pag nagdi-dribble ka nakatalikod, you just want to show your butt na lang to the defender. But also at the same time, your dribbling style was completely different. Everybody was like, flashy, crossover. In fact, I heard a report likening you to like the Bob Cousy of the Philippines. You had a straight body, and then your dribbling was always
right.
yeah. Even Yoyong Martinez said na yung dribble is in front of you. He can't steal from you because the ball is always in front of you. So how did you develop this ball handling skill that was so different from the time?
Now you mentioned this, yeah. Nobody, when I was playing at that time, you must remember I was not really a guard. I was made a guard by Eduque. Now, I was light. I was 118 pounds, I think. Yeah, very, very thin. Yes. And, you know how strong the players are, no? One push and that's it. You're going to lose the ball, you're going to lose your body. So I said, how can I get past these guys without falling or without being pushed? So that's how I learned. I gave them my back, and I was able to outmaneuver them. And if they pushed me, the referee could see it because they would push me from behind. And I guess that helped me. And I was able to pass better with my back turn because they didn't know where the ball was coming from. Not like if you. In fact, there was a coach. I don't know if you remember Feli Fajardo.
Yes.
He said he called me once because he was the one who brought me to Rico. He called me and said, Mike, what do you have to give your back when you're dribbling? Can't you dribble in front of the guy? I can coach, but I'm not comfortable. Why? Because they will just push me and I will fly. I really would fly. If you had seen me before against these guys, no way would I play. That's why my father said that's for tall people and strong people. So I just thought, how would you say it? I had to find a way, be able to be effective. That's all I did. That's what used my head also. Because how in the world can I pass to these big guys? And they were the guys. Sometimes we play against imports of 6'9", 6'10". Yeah. You dive in and you see them. Oh my God, 6'9", 6'10". How would I pass this guy? And I didn't have a good shot, so I had to learn how to take a hook shot, and I had to learn. And they wouldn't bother me. They think this guy's just gonna throw the ball, and then the shot would go in, and I was happy. They were shocked, and that's I had to adjust to the way to these people, the big ones, and whatever would come up in front of me. That's why I enjoyed it. It was a big challenge for me, and I'm glad I went through it. But boy, that was really hard. What I went through. Now that I think about it, it was a hard career, but I enjoyed it. There were ups and downs. When I was younger, when I started for Mariwasa, we somehow were able to control the Mika. There was no PBA yet for 2 years.
Right. And
that for me was the height of basketball. I was young. I wasn't hurt. I could do anything I wanted because I was young. You know, when you're young, you think there will always be tomorrow. And then, until I got hurt, I broke my knee. That's when I said, I didn't know my knee would give in. Then I had a harder time. But I had to go on because I had to make a living. It's basketball then was also a living aside from working for the company. Yes, sure.
Tito, well, just to let everybody know, just to let you know also, right now on Facebook Live, of course, there's a lot of people watching, but among the people watching right now are Bernie Fabiosa,
Bernardo, yeah.
Ricky Relosa is watching,
Relosa.
Ray Lazaro is watching as well. So
Yeah.
they're here watching you because
Nice.
they know that you're the guest today, aside from a bunch of other people. Anyway, I do remember your dad, no, from Eco, and of course when people think about Mike Bilbao, Eco talaga ang naiisip nila more than Mariwasa, di ba? And then you
Yeah.
had your 1 year in Beerhausen, but it's really Eco. So what year did you transfer to Eco from Mariwasa, and then you stayed there for the next decade, di ba? You were there for a good number of years.
Yes. You see, 70, there was no PBA yet, no? So I went to Eco. I played for Mariwasa 71, 72, and then I think mid 73. And then my father goes to me and tells me, because Freddie Webb got hurt, he broke his knee. And I didn't know Eco was going to be interested. And I never expected my father to say, you can now play for Eco. So he just came one morning and I said, Oye, Miguel, I don't want you to be playing basketball without working. You have to work and you have to play. And Eco wants you. I was startled. Finally, my dream will come true. I was going to play for Eco. But although I love Mariwasa because of the championships that we had, but I said maybe it's about time I go to Eco. That was 73, I think. And Feli Fajardo actually asked me before my father did. And I told Mr. Fajardo, Coach, I would like to go to Eco, but I cannot leave Mr. Cosoteng because he's been very nice to me. And he never came. Feli is very proud man. If you say no to him, he will never go back to you and ask you again. So I knew that. So my father had to be the one to tell me. And I don't say no to my dad. When my father says run, I have to run. So when my father says jump into the lake, I have to jump into the lake. You know how Charlie, the Spaniards, they're very strict, but they have big hearts, yeah. But I was happy also because Don Manolo is such a nice owner, no, of Elizalde. Big heart,
Right.
all of them, especially Mr. Frank, Elizalde. I love them. They were actually my life for so many years. And Eco 74 until what year? Until 83, I think.
83,
No?
83.
83.
83. But in between those years, I broke my knee, so I had to stop for a year and a half to 2, I think. But it was always Eco. And then Eco disbanded. And where did I play? I don't remember anymore.
So you went to Beerhausen
Beerhausen na, 1 year.
last year.
1 year. And Beerhausen was a different story because I was playing among different people already, the younger ones, and I was getting old. So, like what player told me, when you get heated up in a game, that only means you're getting old. You have to retire. So I retired after that because I couldn't accept defeat anymore like I used to, and I felt so bad. I had a harder time because the older you are, the harder it becomes. It's not fun anymore, and that's the difference I wanted to say also between the amateur and the professional league. The amateur was like a family. You enjoyed. Everything was fun. Of course, you feel bad when you lose, but like tomorrow is always another day. That's why I enjoyed the Mika more than the PBA. The PBA was more because you are being paid so much. You have to play. You have to run. You have to do this, do that. It was not fun anymore. It was work, more work than fun. And basketball to me was always fun because you beat the other guy fairly, and because of your hard work, you feel better, not because of money. That was the difference. Yes, sir.
Right.
Well, I have a question. When you were in Eco, you formed what was probably the first big three in the Mikaa. Yourself, Rene Canent, and Freddie Webb. You were all teammates at one point and all great players. What was it like playing with Rene Canent and Freddie Webb in Eco?
Oh, those guys are fighters. They were ahead of me. Rene was I used to watch him play in the NCAA when I was in grade 6, I think. Rene was playing for Jose Salle, and Freddie was way ahead of Rene. So I was the younger one, and I learned a lot from them. You see, when you play with the older ones, you get to learn from them. Their takes, when to go to the left, when to go to the right, until it becomes second motion. You don't even have to think about it. It becomes part of your system. And that's what I always tell the young players. Always make it a point when you practice or when you play. You have to learn from other people who have a lot of tricks. Basketball is a game of tricks. Like some people are good in faking, and then they take the jump shot at the time when you're going down, they're going up, and there's so many things that you have to learn until it becomes again second motion. Yeah, you don't think about it anymore. Everything is reflex. Like once we were playing against Crispa, okay? The lane was open, so here I come for my layup, and all of a sudden I find myself under the goal. You know what do I do here? Somebody touched my feet, no, or my foot. When I look back, it was Johnny Revilla. I said, Johnny, I'm just earning a living. I'm just earning a living. You don't have to kill me for this. And said, you know what he said? Sorry, Mike, I didn't have to shoot, and my reflex, you know.
Ganun talaga si Johnny.
Reflex, I understand. I said, but you know, it's getting to know them, no matter how tough they are. And some people are intimidating. They like to intimidate. It's one of those who love to intimidate.
How was the success of Ico in your short time in the Mikaa before you transferred to the PBA? Did you also win championships with Ico in the Mikaa?
When I transferred to Ico from Mariwasa, I'm trying to recall. We never won a championship under Feli Fajardo. Never did when I was there. But when Coach Fajardo left and Bonnie Carbonell took over, we won that. So at least once we won it once. But because what I tried to think, what's wrong with Ico, because these are all stars. You know that, Charlie, these players of Ico, all stars. But then I forgot they were not getting young. They were getting older. And we were the young ones. The young ones that came into Ico during my time was Cleophas and Morty Sampson and myself.
The Atenistas.
Yes. But the others, the real stars, they were not getting any younger. That's why I said they could not keep up with the pace of Crispa. That's when Crispa started coming. This Crispa was a young team, a solid team in UE, because most of them were UE. And then they had additions like Adornado from UST, and then Jumpapa, and Atuico. They were good. My God, every time we play against, I remember that time very clearly. It's Ico Crispa. Then I would say, "Oh my God, here we go again," because they were they just had this. They were so fluid because they knew each other very well. They knew what the other guy was without them looking for them. They were big, strong, young. Yeah. And Ico was really, we're not getting younger. And I was short. If I were tall, maybe I could change the tempo, but no. We're not a small guy, not in basketball. Small guy can only do so much. Pangulo.
Sir, I'm going to show you a series of photographs of your playing days. And maybe for each photo, just describe who you're with, and if it's another player, just talk about that player, what it was like to go up against. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, this is the first one.
Can you see it? Tito?
You see it?
Yeah, I'll get my glasses. Wait, sorry, I
It's
cannot
okay,
No
it's
see.
problem,
okay.
no problem at all. Para
You're
sa mga
actually the
ibang
one jumping
nakikinig,
there.
yung mga nakikinig ngayon, nanonood sa Facebook Live, among them, Tito Mike, Bert De La Rosa is also watching.
Oh, Berto?
Berto is watching. Bert De
Yeah.
La Rosa is watching
Berto
as
is
well.
there, yeah.
And
He's a
Alan
Former
Kaidik.
teammate.
Alan Kaidik's also watching. So one of the younger ones, Alan Kaidik. He came after you already.
One of the best shooters. Yes, for me, one of the best. Bert was a nice guy.
Okay.
Your
There's
teammates in
the
Tanduay.
first photo. With
Yes,
Tanduay.
the guy at the back wearing royal through orange. This is Yoyong Martires.
He just faked you off.
Yeah.
This guy with the ball?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
Yoyong.
Yoyong.
And
No.
he made you jump.
I was jumping, but I don't think that's Yoyong Martires.
That's Yoyong, yeah. That's Yoyong.
Yes, Yoyong is number 14.
Royal True Orange, number 14. That's Yoyong.
Yeah.
That's Yoyong?
Yeah.
I don't know who he's up against, number 44, your teammate. Can't really make out his face.
Yeah.
This is PBA na eh.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like Yoyong. I don't know. Maybe it's my eyes. That
This is you, I think, during your time as assistant team manager for Ginebra.
Ginebra.
yeah.
Yes, this is after your playing days in Ultra.
That's Ultra already. Yes, Ultra na yun.
Yeah. That's Dr. Concepcion beside me. He was our marketing officer. Yes.
Can you
He was
see it?
the
Can
manager.
you go back? Can you go back to the first picture?
This one?
Yeah, this one. The number 44 is, I think that's Jimmy Taguines.
Ah, really?
And I think someone pointed it out also on the feed, no, Mr. Flores. Jimmy Taguines, number 44. That's what was stated here. So
Okay.
What team was this? 44 of what team?
of Tanduay,
Tanduay.
the guy right behind you in this photo.
You're asking the guy behind me?
Yes, the guy
Yeah,
behind
that's
you.
Jimmy.
And it looks like it's Jimmy
Yes.
Taguines.
Yeah.
It's 44 could be Taguines, yes.
Yeah. Former Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, this should have been what, 78, 79 na ito,
Yeah,
no?
this must have been about 78. Yeah.
Yes, kasi Royal True Orange pa sila eh. And
Yeah. So 79 malamang, ano?
Okay.
okay, this is the other one.
Media, marketing.
And then this is an article that was written about you in one of the old Filipino sports magazines.
The sports magazine, yes.
Yes.
I remember that, yes.
Yeah, Mike
They
Bilbao
wrote
is
something about Mike Bilbao and his back, and like, so what, Because this was the time I broke my knee, so I
Yes.
had hard coming back. And a lot of people gave me the support, just like when after my accident, boy, I got all the support that I needed. That's why I was able to come back.
That's
And,
funny on the bottom right of this photo, Tito. On the bottom right, where's Chito Loizaga? And he's wearing, it says, where's Chito Loizaga? He's wearing an Iko Tanduay jersey. And remember,
Yeah.
he only played one game for Iko Tanduay. He just
I
played
played
one
with
game,
him.
and then he left.
left. Something happened. I don't know what really happened, but something they didn't come to an agreement. I don't know. I don't know exactly what happened. I enjoyed playing with Chito for that one game. He's a very smart player. Very magulang. They say magulang magaro. He uses his body very well. He played like as his dad, using his body, but his dad was something else. His dad was really terrific player.
I'll just
But
read
he was, yes, sir.
Yeah, I'll just read the first paragraph here in the article. It says, he has
yes.
broken a syndrome. He is short, yes. He is slow, yes. He is
Yes.
cool, yes. He is 5'9" or maybe a little less, yet his hard court stance is that of a 6-footer. And he executes
nice.
this brand with flying colors.
That's so nice. When you hear things like that, it makes your head big, but my head doesn't get big.
Yeah,
I
this is
love it when they talk like
1981.
that. Yes, 81. Yeah, I had my
Yeah, March of
81.
1981. So,
Yeah. I was playing for Iko Tanduay. Yes, that's right. Because Tobanolo, they want Tanduay, the name Tanduay in the Mika. It was a big thing. He always wanted Iko because Iko was known to be with Elizalde. And I don't blame him because, you know, Tico was a team of champions. They won 7 straight national championships back in the 60s. And the team that almost tied the record of 7 straight national championships was Ismael. Ismael won 6. Ismael won 6. On their 7th try, Jaworski played for Ico. That's what when they got to play for. That's when he got to play for Ico, and Ico beat Ismael. So Ismael never won the 7 national or tied Ico's 7 national championships. And those were classic games. For me, I admire the way they played Ico Ismael. Oh my God, they were so cool, and everything they made it look so easy playing basketball. They were so synchronized, and they were good. They were good players. The teams after that, they were also good. I'm not saying that they were bad, but yeah, watching Ico Ismael for me was a classic, always a classic game. Always a classic game. The players were decent players, you know, respectable, and you could talk to them after the game. They were good. They were kind. The younger players, but not all of them are that kind, or they don't act the same way. They changed. They somehow changed because they were idolized by the crowd. They go out of the Coliseum, everybody's around them. You know that sort of a thing. Like we go to the province to play. Sure. After the game, they're all over us. So what we do is after the game, we look for a place where we can run to go to the bus to go home, because you know it's so scary. You don't even know these people. You don't. They pinch you. They hit you. Then before. Never mind if you're big. If you're big, they think twice before touching you or anything. But if you're small, you know, they can push you. They can do anything, and it changed. We were treated like actors already in the PBA, like people in the movies. And we didn't like it. Amateur was always with respect. There were limits, and that one I missed because PBA changed that. In the amateur, that's why I like the amateur much nicer.
Well,
For the benefit of the younger viewers, Ico Ismael was like one of the biggest rivalries in Philippine basketball in the 1960s.
Yeah, before Chris Toyota, it was Ico Ismael.
Yes.
But this picture that we have right now, Sir Mike, is the big 3 that I was talking about earlier. Canen, Webb, and Bilbao.
Yeah, there's a photo right now on the screen, sir. Yeah.
Okay. You look at this. Freddie here already had a knee injury.
Mm-hmm.
He came back to play for Ico Tanduay. But if you had seen Freddie before his knee injury playing for Ico, boy, he was really fast. He was something else. Rene was fast too, but not as fast as Freddie. And the slowest is this guy, the other one, Bilbao. That number 4, very slow. But when we practice and they're both running, I try to catch. No, I cannot. They're so quick, and I would consider this to us. They were they belong to a different era. That Ico Ismael era. Yeah, I would say every decade is different. Like the Toyota Crispa. That was for me another classic fight. The Toyota Crispa. From beginning to end, you see Toyota running. You know, from the backcourt to the front court, they don't stop. They never stop running. And then you see Crispa trying to catch up with them. But Crispa had better players and more synchronized. So it was classic. It took some time before they broke up. But those were the final moments in basketball, as far as I'm concerned. I like watching good teams play. Even in the Olympics, they're nice to watch. Even in the NBA. The NBA now has changed from the NBA of before. Like during the time of Boston Celtics, I used to enjoy watching Boston Celtics. they were like a team playing, trying to synchronize too. And then LA Lakers, boy, Magic Johnson. Those for me were they were the top players in basketball. And of course, there are good players now. LeBron James, but it's power. This is power, pure power. And but they're good. They're good. No question about that. But different kind. And they would say suave. Before there were suave players, no, and more suave than now. Because now it's talagang power. You have to have power. Yeah.
What's this picture?
This is so Mike,
This is
apparently, No, you had a column, a sports column for Sports Weekly magazine before.
Yes, they asked me to write.
Yeah, here name baloncesto.
Baloncesto.
Basketball. That's basketball.
So the photo here is you wrote an article about your teammate Francois Weiss. Here.
Oh yes. I had to write something about Francois, and he never forgot that. He thought I was pulling his leg. I said, "No, Francois, it should come out." So I gave him the magazine after we talked, and he never forgot. He was so grateful. I said, "Francois, you're a nice man, and you're a fighter." So since I come from that orientation of family, being a family team member, that's how we used to treat each other. Because that time we were playing in the pros already. The process is different now. It's I'm getting more than you. You have to feed like that. How much are you getting? You're gonna ask for more. It wasn't the same. In Eco, actually, when I played for Eco, we were not getting much from playing. It was just an allowance, and we were working. We were more concentrated in working than playing. Playing was more or less an outlet for us, and we enjoyed it because after every game they brought us to Casa Marcos to have a good steak. Those things.
Right.
I've not heard that in a while.
Yes,
Casa Marcos,
yes, and then here's the catch. After eating, one player would call the waiter, "Chief, can I have 2 more? Because I have 2 kids, I have to feed them." So he has 2 more. And then another player says, I have 10 kids, maybe 5 will do. But,
Take home, huh?
But again, these are just because it was true. They had so many kids. Like there was a player, I don't know if you know him. You remember him? He passed away already. His name is or was Elias Tolentino.
Of course.
Yes, of course.
Yes, yeah.
Right, Elias, okay. Elias was working with Don Manolo, right, in his office. Anyway, Elias was married then. I was talking of the 70s. He was married to the sister of Philip Cesar.
Philip Cesar, right.
Yes.
Yes, and then Elias was married 12 years, I think, that time, and he had 11 kids. So it was in 12 years he had 11 kids. So I asked him, Elias, what's that? Every year you have a child. So Egay Gomez, another player, he passed away also.
Right.
You know, Mike, Elias just walks. He just passes by his wife. His wife gets pregnant already, so he has to stay away from the pastor. It is a big joke, but that's how fun. And then Elias also one of the games we were playing against Johnny Supermarket, I think, and then the import of Johnny Supermarket, they used to have imports, and suddenly fell after taking a layup, so he fell under the goal. So then he turns around and says, "Hey man, what did I do, man? Hey man," "What did I do, man?" So he just turns around and says, "Kanina ka pa eh." So we just laughed and yeah.
Sir, I'd just like to ask lang about how did you get started with this gig, writing a sports column? Did Sports Weekly approach you?
Yes, they just asked me if I had time to write a column, and I said yes. What about basketball? Okay. And what do I say? I didn't want to comment so much on the teams that were playing because I was still playing for ego. So I said I'll talk about basketball, the basics, the fundamentals, and hopefully the people that will read the column, especially the kids, it was geared more towards learning kids how to play basketball the right way. Because the basketball, if you don't learn the fundamentals from the very beginning, you'll have a hard time adjusting. You'll develop the bad things that you're not supposed to. And but if you're fundamentally sound, it's easy. It's easy to play basketball as long as you practice, you're disciplined, as long as you have the values of an athlete. For me, that's very important. Discipline and determination, and how to accept victory and loss. All those things. That's why basketball is not just the game; it's the values that you develop. And but again, like I said, when it's play for pay, all those values go to the dogs because sometimes you lose them because of money. So I never liked the pros because of that. But you have to play. If you wanted to play big time, you have to be in the pros.
And here you are with Francois. This is a great shot. You and Francois together.
That's Francois playing for another team, no?
Yes.
For UTEX, I think.
Was it UTEX or? Yeah. You see how big that guy is?
Yeah.
Huh? I think he almost made it to the football team in LA.
Yeah,
But
the
he was
Rams.
cut.
The Rams?
Yeah, you did.
I think it was the Rams. Yeah, he mentioned that to me. He almost made it, but he was cut. He was, I think, he was last 10 to be cut. Yes, but you know he was big, and it was nice to play with him. Very easy to read what he wanted you to do, and as far as he wasn't asking for the ball all the time. He would find space to find a place for him to take a good shot. And although he wasn't that tall, That's why he had a harder time against the taller blacks. The taller blacks were hard.
This is you during your year at Beerhausen, going up against the young point guard at the time named Hector Calma,
Yeah.
playing for the guest team Northern
Like.
Cement.
See, heck, yes. He's a very humble, good. He was a point guard of that American coach, no?
Yeah,
Ron
Ron
Jacobs.
Ron
Jacobs.
Jacobs.
Ron Jacobs, yeah. Heck he was a heck of a player also. Heck. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the way he played. Very clean and not dirty. I don't like dirty players.
We're still trying to get him on the show. See, heck.
Yeah.
Hopefully he can.
Really?
Yeah, we're trying to invite him.
Well, even Francois Weiss is actually scheduled on this show.
Yes, later this
Yeah,
week.
Francois, you'll enjoy talking with Francois. He's a down-to-earth person. Yeah, down-to-earth. He'll tell you everything.
There's the standing up. There's the stand-up dribble. Oh.
Yeah.
You face the back. You have to face your butt towards the defender.
Yes.
Like,
Who is this defender though?
Yes, I'm not really
Anong
sure.
team to?
Mariwasa yan eh. Mariwasa yan.
ba yan?
Oh, yung 17. Letter
Oo.
M yung jersey eh.
That
I don't know who
17?
it is. I wonder who that is. I can't.
But
He
this is,
did get
I
the
think
ball.
This is Mikaa. This is
Yeah.
You see how
Mikaa
small
days.
I am, oh? You see how small that guy is? That number 4? Can you imagine? When I look at those three pictures, I said, oh my God, those guys are giants.
I need to ask Tito, if you look at the pictures, as we're looking through the pictures, your jersey number changes from 4 to 44 to 20 to 6 and then 34 with Beerhausen. Why is that? How come your jersey number changed? Even with one team?
I only kept number 4 with Mariwasa and then Iko. And then in the middle of when I got hurt, I think I changed my number already because I don't know if I'll be able to play again. I wasn't sure. it was insecurity more than anything else. I love number 4 because that gave us championships in La Salle. I was very proud of that, La Salle and Mariwasa.
Yes,
We were in
speaking of
control
La Salle.
for 2 years.
Speaking of La Salle, here's your grad pick.
I think this is your
That pic?
graduation pic. This one.
Yes. That's a graduation picture. Yeah, that was how many years ago? That was 2 years ago when I graduated.
It's a long time ago.
I stopped counting after 24. I stopped counting. So I'll never get old. Yeah. But yeah, that was when I was young.
Here's the matchup. Well,
Kiko.
Yeah, against Kiko.
Oh. Look at you.
Yes.
Nakatakas ah.
Oh,
yeah, there.
that guy was strong.
And everybody used to talk about the two of you because of that Ateneo La Salle background, and then you guys
You're
also
both, yung good on your feet, yung quick on your feet.
parehong football player. He was also a football player.
exactly.
He told us when he was young.
Francis was a star. He was born a star already. See, Francis. He was as a baby. He was already a star. Then he played soccer, star pa rin. And then he played basketball, star pa rin. Wherever he went, he was a star because he was I would call him a natural. He was a natural athlete. Yeah, very strong body. He maybe didn't realize it, but he was very strong. Like parang kalabaw, yung talagang he won't stop. That's why Fabiosa and him, when they were matched up in Toyota Crispa, it was a nice thing to watch because both were strong. Fabiosa is another kalabaw. He's very strong. No, don't you think so, Charlie? See Fabiosa?
Oh yeah. And he won't stop. He's relentless.
No, he doesn't stop, doesn't get tired. I said, this guy doesn't get tired. I'm gonna die here already. Just following the guy. He was a hustler. He was all over the court. I said, my God, please stop running already because I was tired already. because Iko were not really that professional. I'm talking of Iko days because we were working and then, of course, we were also drinking after the game and I was smoking. So I wasn't really a dedicated athlete, not like these people. Yeah.
There's a lot. Sige. There's a lot of people kasi watching.
Yeah.
And one of them pointed out it wasn't Mariwasa a while ago. It was Motorola. It was the team you were playing against, Motorola daw. Because of
Concepcion Motorola, yes.
Yeah.
Could be. That's why the uniform, I don't remember that uniform.
And it looked like Joy Jonicio daw behind you in that picture a while ago.
Joy. Yeah.
Like it was. According to Boy at Season.
Yeah. There was a...
See, Joy is still alive or he passed away already?
Haven't heard if he's passed away, but I'm not really sure where he is now.
Yeah.
Sid, you're gonna say?
There's a viewer who's asking if it's true that you and Francis communicated in Spanish while you were playing.
Only the bad words in Spanish.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly.
Only the coños and the cabron, yeah.
So it's true. You trash talked in Spanish with Francis Arnaiz.
When he makes his 3-point shot, I say coño.
Kayong dalawa lang yan eh. Kayong dalawa lang were doing that.
I don't want to understand me. No, but there was a referee Cruz. I don't know.
Tim Cruz. Yeah, Tim Cruz.
Tim Cruz, yes, you know him?
Cruz.
Yes.
We remember him.
Yeah, of course.
Remember? Okay. So there was once he called a foul on me. So I said, coño. Then he comes up to me. I know what you mean, Mike. Just stop saying that. He got mad.
Good thing, no technical foul, huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Baka technical foul right away.
Because that's a foreign language.
So it's true pala.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And here's
this is another Sports Weekly on the bottom left. That's you, the Mighty
Mike. It says Mighty Mike is back.
Yeah.
And how? Yeah.
Iko must have paid him a lot of money to write that.
But of course, the main picture, that CDCP versus Crispa, Gidabin's getting blocked by, I think that's Edmond Lawrence.
Yes.
And James Lister, maybe, probably.
Yeah.
Kelly, you see how tall those guys are?
Yeah.
Yeah. 6'5", 6'5", 6'3". My God.
These guys are almost 7 feet.
Yeah, 7 feet na yung mga yan.
These are one of them is a former NBA player, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-mm.
He's a brother
Oh
of
my-
Alton Lister.
James
Oh my
Lister.
God. Yeah, those are the real players. I'm sorry to hear also about Gidapen being in the
Yeah.
hospital. He's in New York, you said.
Yeah, he's
Charlie?
recovering.
Yeah, he's recovering already. He's had some
He's recovering good.
he's
I
had
didn't know
some
that.
health problems, but he's up. I know he's in a wheelchair, but he's up and about now. I mean, he's able to communicate.
I'll tell you about Gidapen, although I don't know. Gidapen, when he started, we were playing against them. He was new in Greece. But anyway, Tolentino, Elias, was trying to position himself. You know, the centers, they want the position so you can give them a pass, no? They put up their hands. I did the left hand up. Anyway, Gidapen kept going in front of him. He kept bothering him. So I just heard Elias say, bye. Wag ka nang, don't bother me. I'm just going to get the ball. You don't have to put your shoulder, throw me an elbow. Just relax. And I guess Gidapen took it like, who's this guy telling me what to do? Bago siya, no? And then, until finally, I was about to give the ball to Elias. I just heard a boom on the floor. When I looked up, I just saw Gidapen's foot shaking from one place to another. And then I was looking for Elias, and Elias was there. He went to the bench to have a cup of water. Then he tells me, okay ba yung buko, Mike? I said, oh my God.
Kasi lagi nakapumada si Elias eh.
Yes.
Di ba, Willie Hernandez used to call him the Mikado man.
Namikado man. Right.
Yeah.
The Mikado man.
Binigyan niya.
Wow.
Oh.
So that's
The
another
nice
thing
thing
I
you
haven't
walked
heard
away.
in a while.
Here's another mestizo you're playing against. This
Yeah.
is in Mikaapa, I think.
This is Francis, no?
No, that's
that's
Ricky.
Ricky Palu.
That's Ricky
That's
Palu.
Ricardo, no. Yeah, natapat lang yan. Yeah, Ricardo is taller. Ricky is around 6'2", no? 6'1".
Uh-huh.
Thereabouts, yes.
He was a good blacker, si Ricky.
Yeah.
I saw him black when Sonny Reyes was the star of ICO. I saw him black a shot. He was playing for San Miguel, Ricky. And Sonny drove with his carpet shot, the 200 shot in the middle lane, no? And then here comes Ricardo Palu. And Ricky blacked his shot really, really well. His timing was perfect, even for Ateneo. When he was playing for Ateneo, he was known for that. And he had a good side shot. And he didn't weigh so much, but he was known for that, for blocking his shots. Another guy also known for that is Orly Bauson. I don't know if you guys know.
Yes,
Yes,
Orly
yes.
Bauson.
Of course.
Yeah.
Orly, because Orly was a volleyball player pala. That's why he would let the guy go. When the guy, he would let you lay up. But then at the top of your layup, here he comes, boom. I can't buy those guys. Good luck. Now,
Yeah. Well, I was actually talking to Ricky Palu the other day, and he sends his regards. He says, hello.
Ricardo, yes.
Yeah. I was talking to him the other day. He sends his regards.
Oh, that's nice of him. Ricardo is, I admire the way he plays also. And remember, when Arnaiz, I think, was playing for Ateneo, that year I was still a bench warmer. So I didn't get to play against Francis so much in Ateneo.
Yeah, I only played 1 year.
You only played for 1 year. And then he played for Meralco after that. So, but he was already a star. Like I told you, wherever he went, he was a star. And then he became a real star when Eduque, I think, got him to play for ABC. That's when Francis really shined. Tito knows how to use people. And Arnaiz became Arnaiz. Although he was already a star, he became a superstar. A superstar is one that can give you 20, 25 points a game. He can play 40 to 44 minutes a game. So different classes. These are people like Jaworski. Jaworski can give you can play 48 minutes a game, you know, and he can do everything that he has to do: rebound, screen, pass, yeah, all around.
But I have no. Can you go back lang, Sid? Just that last
sorry.
picture.
Okay.
I was just going to ask, who does Mike Bilbao look more like here, Cliff Richard or Elvis Presley?
Who? This guy?
It looks like an
He looks like
artista,
my
number
friend.
4. The number 4 guy looks like an
Yeah, it's
actor.
number 4. I
Di
think
ba Eddie Peregrina? Di ba? Eddie Peregrina. Iba yun,
Eddie
no?
Peregrina. I remember.
Oo nga, no? Cliff
Movie
Richard.
star, eh. Movie star looks.
I remember Eddie Peregrina. You know, once I think it was Eddie. He passed our dugout, and then one of the players shouted, "Eddie, Eddie!" Oh, this smile, you know, very nice water, very nice, you know, disposition. He just smiled. Like once we were having dinner, the La Salle team in Casa Marcos, and then Eddie Gutierrez came out of the restaurant from a closed restaurant, and then one of the players shouted, "Oh, Eddie, Eddie!" And then he looked at us. "Taga La Salle ba kayo?"
Grabe.
This is another photo of you during your stint
Ginebra.
as assistant team manager of Ginebra. By the way, we'd like to thank
This
Ernie
is Deborah
Sarmiento for this photo.
Latondena. Yes, actually, I was hired in Latondena to work, and then I told them they wanted me to be in the team also. I said I don't think I'll have time because I was having difficulty already with my knee here. So they said, "Oh no, all you have to do, Mike, is come to the games." And okay, I'll go. But I was basically working for them, and we did well in our job there. And I had to go back to the States for further medical issues.
Mhm.
So that's why. And then Latondena after a while was bought by San Miguel. Was controlled by San Miguel. It was already bought by San Miguel that time.
This is the final one. This is you on the bench. I think this is
Yes, no?
Philip Cesar, if I'm not
Philip,
mistaken.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
Philip,
Philip
yeah.
there.
Philip was one of the players.
Yes.
Oh.
And this
I
is
think he
Sunny.
was assistant
Sonny,
already there.
the next to Sonny is Chito. You see the headband there.
Yes.
No,
And
but I
then
think
this is
Philip was
Sunny.
already assistant, di ba? Assistant coach na siya rito.
I think
Who
he
was
was still
playing?
Playing
playing.
already?
I think he was
Was he still playing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Who was this? This is Sunny Jaworski, no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
this is Sunny here in the middle of a huddle, I think. And this
Yes,
is, this is Philip.
there. Yeah.
So this was probably
That guy, something else.
1989.
Sunny Jaworski, I never really knew him that well until this time. There was one game, I think they were playing Shell, and it was the time left was something like 2 minutes and a half. And Ginebra was down by, I think, 9 or 10. And then he calls a timeout. And then he tells the boys, "Malayo pa yan, ha? There's a long way to go. All you have to do is this. We'll just press them, try to get the ball from them, but no fouls. Just make it hard for them to cross the midcourt." So, but I was thinking 2.5 minutes, you're up by 10. The game is over now. As far as we were concerned when we were playing, no? All you have to do is dribble around the guy and get a foul and make the foul shots, and that's it. But I forgot about the 3-point play because I was out from basketball for quite a while. So sure enough, one interception, the guy takes a 3-point shot, boom, down to 7. And then another interception down to 4. Before you knew it, siguro last 48 or 50 seconds, Ginebra was just down by 1. And the people, they had a lot of fans in the bleachers. Oh my God. They were going wild, I said, oh my God, that's why these people go wild. I said, now I know why they get wild. They're so passionate, the fans of Ginebra. So scary, in fact. It's very, yeah. Sometimes they go down from the bleachers when Ginebra wins. They go down to the dugout to congratulate Jaworski. And Jaworski knows how to treat them. He welcomes them. And but me, I wasn't used to that. I was scared of that because I didn't know them. And like I told you, during our time, we would hide away from the fans, but not Jaworski. Jaworski and Bob were the ones that, were around the fans, saying hello to them, but we would hide. We were like monkeys, hiding and hiding. But they knew how to handle the fans. We were scared.
Okay na yan.
Oh, that's it. Is that the last photo?
I'd like to thank pala Ernie Sarmiento for these photographs of Sir Mike
thank you for the photos.
at the Ginebra bench. No? Oh yeah, that's it. That was the final photo.
Tito Mike, the daughter of Dr. Concepcion says hello. She's also, I think she's watching.
Say
The
hello
daughter
to her.
of
Yes, I missed.
We
Yes.
were informed by Lloyd Manaloto that the daughter says hello to you. Ang
That's so
madaming
nice.
bumabate.
Oh, mga kaibigan niyo yan. Yeah, must be your friends.
Yeah, well, lots
Charlie.
of guys. We have some friends watching as well. Your brother-in-law is watching, Louis Ismael.
Lou,
watching.
nice guy, Lou. Yes.
He's having a good time watching.
Yes.
Tito, we forgot to talk about your stint. You played for the Philippines, no?
For the Philippines?
For the youth team.
Yes.
Right?
No, USA. I played for the USA team.
USA, yeah.
No.
Not Spanish, not the Spanish team, but you did play for the Philippines, though. You wore the Philippines jersey one time in your basketball.
The Philippine youth.
Yes.
The Philippine youth. I was still young. The age limit was 19. I was 18, and I enjoyed playing with them until Feli Fajardo. That's where I met Feli. That's where I learned about Feli because of the Philippine youth. That's why after the tournament, he wanted me to go to ICO, but I said I had to talk to Mr. Cosseteng, and I don't think I had the guts to tell him that. Although I wanted to go to ICO, I just couldn't tell him. So, but yes, in the youth, and again in the youth, that was the height of my basketball career, if I really had one. But we didn't lose a single game in the NCAA with Salle. We only lost once. Out of 10 games, we only lost once, and we won both rounds, first round, second round. In the youth, straight. In the NCAA selection, when we went to Malaysia and then to Singapore and to Hong Kong, straight also. Because, I just have to say this. On my left side, forward was Atoyko. On my right side was Ricky Pineda. I said, "Oh my God, you're bringing the ball down. Just picture this. You bring the ball down, no? You look to your left, it's Atoyko. You look to your right, it's Ricky Pineda. Those guys, they can close their eyes and they can make the shot."
Spatter yan, spatter.
No, yes.
Spatter, that's the word.
So I said, "Boy, if you had players like this, well, it's so easy to play guard. Just give them the ball." And then, but again, it's not like that all the time. Okay, Charlie.
Yeah.
Charlie,
Sir, So, sir, you also played 1 year with Beerhausen, right? And you talked about your time with Sonny Jaworski. A viewer is asking, what was that year with Juan Fernandez like? And that was the year he almost averaged a triple-double.
Yeah.
Ramon is a very talented player. I see Ramon. When you see Ramon position in his place, you can give the ball to him even with eyes closed. He knows how to protect himself from the guy guarding him, and he has a lot of moves. And payat si Ramon, he's thin, but he's very strong. Thin but strong. Strong bones, huh? I would think for a center to be strong would be somebody like Big Boy Reynoso. It's all muscle. Big Boy once screened me from catching Arnaiz. When Arnaiz was playing for Meralco, I saw, I think, 5 or 6 stars, when my head hit his shoulder. I just fell flat. And when I woke up, I said, "Oh, sorry, Big Boy," because he was a nice man. Well, he's not a dirty player. He's just strong. But, they think it's fat. That one of Big Boy is all muscle. It's all muscle. So when you hit it, pasensya ka na lang. Yeah. Ramon was more not a defensive center, more an offensive center, like the way Meralco plays. Yeah, Ramon. And then there are other good centers also, but I don't know, not all of them do last, like some, like Ramon.
Sir Mike, when you transition from the Mika to the PBA, syempre the players got bigger, they got faster, they got more, they got stronger, di ba? Who was the guy that you had the hardest time going up against, besides Jaworski, because Jaworski is a given already? Who was who are the guys that you had to guard na hirap kayo in the PBA?
Oh, are nice.
Sana every time pa eh.
Mika?
Hindi, mula Mika pa yun. In the PBA, the new guys, yung mga Visayan guys that you never faced before, who were the guys na?
Stuff. But Francis, for me, Francis was of course, I would prevent him from doing his layups, no? Because I would be ahead of him you have to be ahead of him by half a step or a step. So to prevent him from getting in. But then when he developed that shot from on the outside, like I told you, when he took a shot once 35 feet out and it went in, I said, oh my God, I give up. He was, for me, he would not force himself to lay up. He would just take his jump shot. And no way can I reach his jump shot. No way. He's much taller than me, taking a jump shot. All I could do was watch and pray that the shot doesn't go in. But so it was so bad. Every time I look behind, boom, pasok. And our coach would be Kaloy Luisaga. And Kaloy is such a perfectionist, you know, because he was a good player. And he couldn't understand why he couldn't stop something like that. I said, Coach, much taller than me. And it was hard. It was really difficult. Fabiosa didn't have a shot from outside, but he was all over the court. You have to be in shape to be able to cope up with him. And there were so many good players in Crispa. Crispa lineup, no? You can look. Yeah, you can look to your left, look to your right. They're all shooters. I said, oh my God. And they were young. They were young. They were the up and coming team there. Yeah, that's why. Toyota was run and gun. Yeah, different style.
How about Yoyong Martires? You're as fast as each other, and yun medyo makulit yun.
Si Yoyong?
Yeah.
Nice to play with Yoyong because he follows you with a smile, and you follow him with a smile also. He smiling the whole time.
He's funny. He's a funny guy.
Oh yes, he's such a nice, pleasant guy. Charlie, he's such full of laughter, full of joy. You know, for him, it's just a game. You know?
Yeah.
But he's a fighter. He has a big heart. That's why he's Yoyong Martires.
He went to the Olympics, no?
Yes, he's an Olympian. Yeah, and people laugh at him. I said, "Why did you ever play in the Olympics?" I said, "Oh, they think it's easy."
We just spoke to him 4 nights ago. We just talked to him, and then we mentioned that you were the next guest, and he said, you know, he sends his regards also to you and to Tita Tetsi.
Yes, he's a nice man.
Yes, he called you Pogi.
He called si Pogi.
Yes, he called you Pogi, and sabi niya.
Sabi niya, ano sinabi niya? Lamang ka daw sa kanya, sa kapugian.
Lamang ka lang daw ng 2 paligo sa kanya. So,
2 paligo lang eh. That's Yoyong for you. Yoyong is funny. Yeah.
So a lot of people talked about you, diba? Opponents and then teammates alike. And in particular, 2 of your former teammates, si Ray Lazaro and Frankie Lim, mentioned you as among their top 5 favorite teammates, I think. No, I mean, and they love the fact. Yeah. And so, how was your relationship in Tanduay with that whole bunch? I mean, you guys weren't winning. We know that. You weren't a champion. You never won a championship with Tanduay. But you guys were together for a long time. You know, you, Abed Gutierrez, Vic Sanchez, Bert De La Rosa. These are guys you were with for a long period of time. So how was the camaraderie? Was it like Eco, like family still, even in Tanduay?
Yes, Charlie, like I told you, Eco's always been like a family. But Eco had, we're thinking of disbanding, I think. There was a time that the marketing of Tanduay was not reached, the sales, no? So that changed it a little. But as far as relationship with management and relationship among players, we're fighting, but we just couldn't win. We just needed more better players and younger players. The other teams were paying their players, I think, more than us, because in Eco they were not paying enough. Not like the other teams. Like I told you, Charlie. Like you were the manager of Eco before, Charlie, no?
No, my dad.
Are you?
My dad was trying to be, I think. Always there.
Your dad was a character. Every time I hear his voice, I knew it was him already. He's smiling and laughing. Yeah, those are good. Just like you. Yeah, great smile and always positive. That's the way to go about life. Yeah.
Well, Bicho, your unico iho is watching also. Si
Fabricio, yes, he called.
Yeah,
he
he's
called me
watching.
that,
Because his wife, I think, posted that he's watching. So we've got the whole
Yes.
Bilbao family here with us. I hear Tita
Yes.
Tetch in there in the background.
Yeah.
No, but
Yes.
so in 1984, after Beerhausen, you played one season, and then you called it quits. You said no more, diba? You
At
stopped
32.
playing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? So what was that? What was your mindset when you left the PBA as a player?
Yes. It was. I couldn't control my temper anymore. I was like I told you. A player told me, when you cannot take the punches anymore, it's time to retire. Like we take a lot of punches, but when you're young, you can take left. Somebody punches you, you offer or you offer the other trick. You still can take it because you're young. But as you get older, it's different. You feel the pain already. Like when Charlie Kuna used to hit me with his left when Charlie used to give me with his left hook, I would feel it already. And I would get mad already. I said, I know, I better quit.
Yeah, I know. Simon Mon Cruz knows that very well. So I saw that. I was watching that game, and when that happened, I'm like, oh.
And you were there? I thought
But no, I was watching on TV. And when that happened, I said, oh, Tito
Yeah.
Mike, what happened?
No.
Yeah,
That wasn't me. That was my double. Yeah, that wasn't me anymore.
yeah, I
Matanda
remember.
na.
That was
Oh.
Juan Cruz Crispa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then
Those
again,
were
Sir Mike, at the age of 32, you called it a career already. What was the career path that you intended to take after being a basketball player for so much time?
Okay, like I told you earlier, in Eco we were working and playing. So I had my job in Elizalde Rope. I was the personal manager of Elizalde, and then they decided to sell the factory. So I was lost. I said, "Oh my God!" After all these years, and so I had to look for another job, and I had to focus on looking for another job. I felt I was lost because I was being groomed to finish my career in Elizalde as an employee, not just as a player, but as an employee. And I had no choice but look for other things. That's why I went to Beerhausen for a while, just to give myself time to look for other jobs. And that's why I went to the States to see if there was something here for me. And I came back, and then I got into an accident, and then I got to Latundenya after that. But it was all because of I had a family to take care of, and I was at a loss for quite a while because of what happened with Elizalde, and it took some time, but I was able to go through with the support of my wife and my kid. And, they were just pushing me. Don't worry, we'll find something later on. I felt so bad when that thing happened, but what can you do? That's life.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, and you just have to know how to get back. I was able to get back.
Yeah, sorry. You just mentioned about the accident. I'd like to briefly go through it? I'm sure you've been asked this many times already. That was the day that you're on your way to a baptism, I believe, at that time, and then a
Yes.
truck hit your car and you almost
Yes, sir.
died. Yeah. So
was-
what happened?
Yeah, I was on my way to attend to my best friend's daughter baptism in Alabang Country Club, and on the way there, in that road to Alabang, a truck lost his tire blew off, according to the guy behind me, the jeepney driver who saved my life, and he just hit me on the left side. So all my left ear, my left arm, my left leg were all smashed, and it took some time for them to get me out of the car I was in. And
Land Cruiser.
yes, Land Cruiser, Toyota Land Cruiser, yes, sir. Yes, and the jeepney driver took me out and brought me to the hospital there in Las Piñas, and they looked at my wallet, and then they said, "This is the player." Then they saw the address of my mom's house where I was staying temporarily, and they called her up to tell them that I was in the hospital because of an accident, and so they came running. My brother-in-law came running and brought me to Manila Medical Center to be treated right away by a nice man by the name of Dr. Recto, the one who fixed my knee when I broke my knee. And what a small world. The one who fixed my knee also fixed my whole body, and I was able to get back. But I had a hard time getting back. That's when my wife, Tetri, and then my son, they just kept on and kept on. And I also pushed myself. Of course, I'm so used to pushing myself, having that experience as an athlete that you really have to push yourself. And I was able to come back. And, but all of that is already over, and I'm not getting any younger anymore. I'm 26 years old already. So I said after 25, maybe that's the time. Yeah. It was hard, but it was challenging. I guess my life was always like that. I like to meet, to have challenges, to overcome challenges, and I feel good after I overcome it. And that's funny because, like my brother would say, my older brother, why do you have to make it hard for you, Miguel? You can do it the easy way. I said, no, I like challenges. So, okay, if you like challenges, then you have to deal with it. Yeah. And,
so we have to talk about, because of what happened to you, there was a benefit game which was staged. Guys, your friends, diba? Sila Velez, sila Tito Eduque, you had sila Tito Lito Tanamaco, those guys, Butch Albert, that whole bunch organized this benefit game.
Yes.
Of course. And so they organized. So the artistas were there, you know, sila Richard Gomez, William Martinez, Martin Yevera was there, Tirso Cruz, Gary V, Agamulak, and then the players from the 1973 Philippine team and the 1985, right? So
that's
generations met. So they all played there. You weren't there, but you had a message that they showed on the big screen. You know?
Yes, I was watching that from the hospital, and I was telling the reporter, nobody's gonna go there. So he said, "Why? Who will go there for me? Nobody will watch." And I was so shocked when I saw the number of
12,000 people showed up.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I said, "Oh my God," because what I learned from La Salle was be good. Love God above all things, and love your neighbor as you love yourself. And I always follow that since I was in grade school, and they would say, "Mike, why are you going around with the Chinese?" I said, "Why? Is there anything wrong?" They said, "No, but you have to go around with the Spaniards." And no, I said, "Why? I can also go around with the Spaniards if I like." But I experienced. I didn't think of discrimination yet, no, because discrimination in the States is very strong. But at that time, I said, why do these people ask me such silly questions? Why do you go around with? I didn't realize that there was already discrimination ever since I was born, and I didn't like it. I said, "This is not right." I was telling myself, "It's not right," and I also realized that the Spaniards in La Salle were playing soccer, and the Filipinos were playing basketball, but I like basketball because it was more a challenge to me. So I took up basketball, and they would say, "Well, you always win in soccer. Why don't you continue to win?" I said, "Because I like the challenge. Like I told you, my brother told me, if you like challenges in life, then that's your life." And I just like overcoming these challenges that were up in front, and that's my life. Always the hard way. My son would also tell me that. Why do you have to do it the hard way, Pop? Because that's me. Yeah.
We have a comment here from Bernie Fabiosa.
Open or no?
Sir Mike, yes, he says he remembers playing in that benefit game for the love of Mike in 1985. So he
Fernando
also sends
played.
his regards. Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
he
nice
played.
to know. Yeah.
He played.
Yeah, even Yoyong Martinez shared that he was there also in that game.
Oh, Yoyong, yes, I know that. I remember.
Yeah, because it's the
I cannot forget.
1973 group, diba? And then
Yeah.
1985, the new guys also played. Sila Kaidik, Engeland, those guys all
That's
played.
the team of Mr. Kuwanko, no? Mahirap
Yes,
Peace.
yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, that was so nice. I said, no, how can I pay? So I told, I tell you this. I was insured, but my insurance was life. So I had to die, or I had to lose my arm, or I had to lose my leg. So sabi ko to, doctor, I don't have the money to pay for this. So why don't you just cut my arm? So I can have some money to pay for whatever else I have, or cut my leg so I can pay for the hospital bill. So my wife freaked out. She told me don't talk like that, because I won't let them cut your arm. So she talked to one of my best friends, Jay Hervasio, who formed this league, this game, together with Waki Trillo, together with Butch Albert. They were the ones really responsible for this, and a lot of people helped, including the teams that were involved. They helped monetarily, and I was able to pay the hospital bill because of that. And I had to get well to reciprocate. There was no other way but to get well, and just to say thank you.
Yeah, and here we are. Huh? So many years later, and hey, you look
Yeah,
really
many
good,
years.
Tito Mike.
Then
You
I
look
see,
really great.
then I see handsome Charlie. Huh? Charlie, you haven't changed. You haven't changed, Charlie.
No,
Really.
para lang alam ng mga tao, no, Tito Mike Bilbao has been a family friend since I was a little kid. I'm by no
Yes.
means a good basketball player, but my first basketball clinic I ever attended was basketball with Bilbao. And
You went
run by Mike Bilbao and Waki Trillo. So Waki Trillo would lead us in all the drills, wearing his espadrilles, not even rubber shoes. So that's why.
Drills.
Okay,
I
so
didn't know that,
that's why.
Charlie.
Kaya Tito Mike ang tawag ko, ha. So hindi ako feeling close talaga kami. So
Just call me Mike. I said you're making me old, Tito Charlie. I call you Tito Charlie. So you call me Mike. No, you are a nice man. You're like a brother. For me, everybody's like a brother. Now the bad guys, the demons, they're different. They're demons. I call them demons. Demonyo.
Diablo.
yeah.
Diablo. That's what they say.
There's a
Diablo.
great question. There's a great question on the feed, Tito. If you can answer this from Boyet Season, he's asking, what do you think the effect of television was for basketball in the Philippines? Because initially, Mika, wala naman TV masyado yan. And
Willie
then
Hernandez lang yan, radyo.
suddenly you were in TV all the time. What's the effect of TV? How did it affect the PBA and basketball?
Which one? The
television coverage, yeah.
It's marketing, yeah. It's all about marketing. Television, I would say more on marketing than the sport itself. Of course, the players are treated like actors, because when you see people on television all the time, they tend to idolize the guy. Like when they see Charlie all the time on television, and they see you in person. Oh my God, this is Charlie! Like that, Charlie. You'll be surprised. I attended a party here in the States, a Filipino party, and then a big party. The guy comes to me. He said, "Are you Mike Bilbao?" I said, "Yes, I'm Mike." "Oh, I'm so and so. I'm from Legazpi." "Oh, I see. I've been to Legazpi, a nice place." He said, I only used to see you in magazines and pictures. You know how delighted I am? I said, no, you don't have to tell me that. I'm just a human being. I said, nice to meet you and so nice to yeah, because I don't know what it is. Television, newspaper, they change the. That's why some players you cannot even talk to them because they think they're God already, you know, because of the way they're being treated. I never liked it. When they idolize the person, like treating him like he's a God with a small G, you know. I said, no, we're just normal people. We're like you. We just like to play, and that's it. Which is covered by television and newspaper. And when you're young, it's nice because it's nice to see your name in the newspaper. So and so made so many points. So and so made the last shot. It's nice for your ego. But as you get older, it's not the same. It just especially in the pros, it's all the money. It's how much you get paid, how much you can save. It's different already.
It's nice, you know.
But
A lot of people
yes.
remember the benefit game, for the love of Mike. Someone even pointed out that the MVP of that game was Ronnie Ricketts, one of the actors. No? So
For the actors, yes.
yeah, that's what one of the guys watching now told us. Anyway, I know it's late already there, Tito. It's 10:30 already there in Palm Beach, and so we'll have to cut this already. But before we let you go, we just like to ask, which is what we ask all our guests here. Who were your top 5 favorite teammates during your basketball career?
That's a hard question.
Then they don't have to be the best players, huh? They don't have to be the
No,
best.
Just your
The
favorite
the
teammates.
5 guys you loved playing with, your favorite kakampi.
I was close to Rene Canet.
Okay.
Freddie Webb, when he was okay, coming back from the injury, I felt like I idolized Freddie in a sense that, you know, he was really good, fast and everything. And the rest were all like brothers. That's why I have no favorite, Charlie.
Okay.
How about Limeng Beng? Limeng Beng and you had a special relationship.
It's like a brother. It's like a younger brother of mine. Although he was, I think, older than me. When Ben came in, I was on my last year in the seniors, but he was of age already. He was not that young. I think, how old was I then? I think I was 18 because I was very young. I started college at the age of, how old was I? 15, I think. I was in first year college, 15. So I graduated when I was 18 or 19. And Ben came in. Ben was already a professional when he came to LaSalle. He was the star of Chiang Kai-shek. And our manager, who was also Chinese, he told Mr. Eduque, Jing, I'll bring a player here. You can use him. He's a good guy and everything. And because Mr. Eduque was not going to coach us anymore, our captain then was Waki Trillo. And Tito had faith in Waki so much, he felt that we could have won the championship against Letran. We lost to Letrana. We were second place. So in that dinner that we had, Tito said, boys, I have to go. This is my last one. So we had to beg him. Jing, but 5 guys here who are going to graduate next year, give us another chance. Because we didn't know of anybody who could coach us better than Tito. He said, I'll think about it. And he decided to coach. And that's when Lim Beng came. When Lim Beng came, then things changed. That's why I owe it to him, because LaSalle owes it to him. That's why I kept saying that, you know, you have to give him what he deserves. And he doesn't ask for anything. You have to give it to him. Very humble guy. He's just a poor man. As he said, I'm just a poor man, but I will give everything that I have. You expect from me, even more than you expect. What you can expect from me, and it's true. He had a heart as big as a clock. Talaga, mabait na tao. You can say anything about him. Yeah, just like Julian Lim. Julian Lim was my best friend also. All of them were like brothers. And Waki Waki was my mentor because he was a pure guide. Waki Trillo was a pure guide. and I was a forward, and he had to teach me how to play guard. And I want to thank him also for. I never said this to him because he will not believe it. But I'm telling you now, these are the guys that really taught me how to get in. Eduque as a coach, and then Waki and teaching me, and a lot of other guys, a lot of them, Joaquin Rojas, yeah, plenty. I learned from each one of them different times. It's 10 o'clock now in Manila, and I know you have your date, Mr. Charlie, and then
No.
your child.
Have a whole day ahead of us. But okay, well, any message for your millions of fans here in Manila, who haven't seen you in a long time and are so happy that you've
That's
appeared on
nice.
the show?
It's okay, Charlie. I just want to thank all of those who helped me when I was down, and you don't know how it helped me get back because I was really shot. It took a lot from me, especially from my family. It was Techi and Fabrizio who suffered more than I did because they took a lot from me. I was going nuts, Charlie. You know, when you go nuts, you don't know what you're doing. And I did suffer. And I've learned to pay for it. And I'm much closer to Papa Josh now than ever before. And
That's
thank
great.
him.
That's great.
And please say hello to your dad because I miss his, oh yeah, when he comes in.
I will. Well, okay.
Thanks.
Guys, anything else? Sid, Noel?
Wow, I'm
Oh.
good. I'm good.
That's
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for understanding. It's been nice talking to you because I have a hard time recollecting also.
Oh, no.
No problem.
You did
We
very well.
heard a lot of stories.
I just
Yes.
want to share lang before we go. I made a list of my top 5 point guards of all time, and in no particular order. They were Jimmy Alapag, Ronnie Magsanok, sino to? Si Johnny
Johnny.
Abarientos. I forgot who the other one was.
Calma.
But, Hector Calma ba? Hector
Yes.
was not on that list. But Mike Bilbao was also on that list. Actually, you're one of the players that I really love to watch when you
Oh
were
my
playing in
God.
the PBA.
Oh, thank you, sir.
I look forward to every Tanduay game. In fact, I hated Tanduay because they would beat sometimes the team that I was rooting for. But I would always admire the Mike Bilbao, who would always be.
Oh, that's so
the
nice
point
of
guard
you.
Thank
There's
you,
not
sir.
too many. Then you are unique. Not too many people are like you because they like shooters. They like people who score, and there's not too many people like you. And I appreciate it very much.
But you were a big influence when I was growing up. Thank you, sir.
We
Thank you
appreciate
very
the
much.
smart.
And
we
I'd like
appreciate
to
the
share
smart
lang.
ones.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like to
yes.
share din lang naman my experience when I was still playing competitive pickup basketball. I had this running shot. That was my
Hold on.
trademark.
Oh.
My friends would comment, "Oh, who do you think you are, Mike Bilbao?" That's what they would.
Running shot.
Yes, that's what they would.
You know, now you talk about running shot. Do you remember Ricky Pineda?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Ricky. Okay, it's like this. In a championship game against Latran, Ricky, Tito would say, Duque, no? Mike, sakale Pineda. See, coach. So I guard Ricky as much as I could. But the guy had a quick shot. One step, then he takes a shot. Boom, boom, boom. You could not stop the guy. He's short, but he had a beautiful shot. The same when he played for Mariwasa. The same. He was doing the same thing. But he passed away early. So it was sad. You know, he was another guy that I admired playing. Short guy, thin. He just shoot it. He just go in with eyes closed. I think he sleeps taking his shots. They were so, the Filipinos for me were one of the best. Because I played against the Koreans. Yeah, Koreans are statured, very statured, same shot, same everything. And then the Chinese also, but the Chinese are tall now, so it's different. And the Filipinos for me, if one of the best, it's not the best. Before, not anymore because of China. And I hope they don't forget. And that's the passion of the Filipinos one. It's the cheapest sport to play, no? Not like soccer, you have to get a field and play and get a number of players to play. Not like Charlie one-on-one. Okay, Charlie comes and you play one-on-one against him. Block your shots 5 times, 6 times. You still play, Charlie, up to now?
Just here. Just shooting with my son. That's it. Wala, hindi na kaya dito. Hindi na kaya.
What? Oh my God, Charles. You're still young. Okay.
Don't want to embarrass myself. Huh? We've had 9-year PBA veteran with a very storied amateur career and of course NCAA career prior to that with Salle. In 319 games in the PBA, averages of 6 points, 2.2 rebounds, but this is the impressive one, 4.3 assists per game, one of the highest in PBA history, and 1.4 steals per game, 1.4 steals per game. So, one of the best in steals. We've had them halos sunod-sunod, Bernie Fabiosa, Yoyong Martires, and then now we have Mike Bilbao. So, really well known to the early PBA fans. One of the fan favorites, of course, Heartthrob. Yan, si Mike Bilbao, na mga early PBA fans. And we like to thank everyone who's been watching us on Facebook Live, lahat ng sumubaybay dito sa aming konting kwentuhan dito sa An Eternity of Basketball sa ngalan ni Noel Zarate at ni Sid Ventura. Nagpapasalamat kami kay Mike Bilbao. Thank you for joining us. Of course, we have to thank Tita Tetsi also there behind. She set up the phone and she's the one coaching you for some of your answers. So thank you very much, Tita and Tito Mike.
Well,
Mike Bilbao, thank you.
Charlie, salamat. Noel, Steve, salamat. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much. So that was episode 21. Happy Father's Day. Episode 21 of AEOB is over. But stay tuned because we're going to have some more great basketball personalities in the coming episodes. Join the movement.
Sabihin mo na.
On Tuesday, we're going to be having the champion coach from the Tanduay Ram Makers, Turing Valenzuela, ang kasama natin sa Tuesday. At mukhang mangyayari on Friday next week. The first former PBA import, well, di pala second kasi si Norman Black ang nauna. Pero yung pangalawa will be Francois Weiss on Friday next week. So we'll announce the schedule on our page on Facebook, An Eternity of Basketball. Adios, Senor Mike. Gracias.
Gracias, señor.
Muchas gracias.
Charlie,
Muchas gracias, señor Mike.
Gracias, señor.
All right.
Cuidaros, coño. Okay.
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 See you guys.